An often overlooked command, which is truly a practical and further elucidation of the seventh commandment, thou shalt not steal, is found in Leviticus 19, verses 35 through 37. Ye shall do no unrighteousness in judgment, in meat yard, in weight, or in measurement. Just balances, just weights, a just ephah, and a just hin shall ye have. I am the Lord your God, which brought you out of the land of Egypt. Therefore shall you observe all my statutes and all my judgments, and do them. I am the Lord. The great Presbyterian commentator Matthew Henry explains this text. If the weights and measures be false, it is like a corruption in judgment. It cheats under color of justice, and thus to deceive a man to his damage is worse than picking his pocket or robbing him on the highway. Let no man go beyond or defraud his brother, for though it be hidden from man, it will be found that God is the avenger of all such. With this said, allow me to ask, what could be more devious, dishonest, and downright wicked than the way nations today, especially the United States, handles its budget? Hello, I'm Jerry Johnson, and I welcome you to this edition of Against the World. Suppose a man you knew was wasting money because he traveled the countryside needlessly and burned up a lot of gasoline, stretching his family's budget to the max, thereby putting his wife and children in the danger of financial ruin. For the simplicity of math, let's say his gas bill for these leisurely drives was running $100,000 per year. Finally, because you are his friend and at the beckoning of his wife, you sit down with him for a little powwow about his wasteful spending. After speaking with him, he agrees that he is spending way too much money on gasoline, and he promises that he's going to cut his gas bill by 50% over the next 12 months. On the 12th month, you stop by his home and ask him how his finances are going. And then he says to you with a smile, "My friend, you would be so proud of me because I've only spent $150,000 on gasoline during the last 12 months. Now you'd probably scratch your head in disbelief and retort, "Friend, I thought you were going to cut your gas bill by 50%. Your gas bill has risen by another 50%. He then explains, "Well, you see, I had planned on increasing my budget for the following 12 months up to $200,000. But after our little talk, I cut the growth of the bill by 50% and only spent $50,000 more instead of the full $100,000. So you see," he joyfully concludes, "I actually cut my spending." Now friends, every single one of us, if we knew a man like this, we would encourage him to check himself into the psych ward at a hospital. And yet this is exactly how our government operates. And it makes no little difference as far as accounting goes who's sitting in the White House or whether or not they have a D or an R after their name. Because this is what they mean every time you hear it in the news when they talk about cutting spending. This is what they're talking about. They're not talking about cutting spending like you and I do. They're talking about cutting the growth of spending, but not actual spending. Really, folks, if this isn't a governmental moronathon, then I have no idea what is. If we love our children, if we love our grandchildren, we need to tell the government, be it federal, state, or local, that this type of accounting is dishonest and wicked. Consider this. If I took out a credit card in the name of your children or your grandchildren and ran the charges up to $1 million and then stuck them with the bill, what would happen to me? Well, I'd go to jail for fraud, at the least, and probably identity theft. But when our government engages in this immoral behavior, we close our eyes and ears and give them a pass. And then we actually have the audacity to celebrate when they cut spending. But remember, they're only cutting growth of spending. The question perhaps we should be asking ourselves is, who really has the problem? Our government or those of us who elect them? Until next time, this is Jerry Johnson standing contra mundum against the world.